Their behavior has nothing to do with you. Think about that for a second. I'm not saying it's true. I don't know anything about your situation. I'm saying dwell on that statement. Their behavior has nothing to do with you. There was this guy called Marcus Aurelius, and at one point he was the most powerful man in the world. He was the emperor of Rome, and he was a good one. Every morning he would write in his journal to remind himself of a truth. This is one of those that he wrote down. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. The translation, you can't control what your boss does. You can only control how you respond. Here's the part that nobody talks about, understanding why they act the way they do. If you think about bad guys in the past, like you think about like Darth Vader, right? In the original trilogy, okay? The one from the 70s. Everyone thought he was pure evil. Then we learned his backstory. And then that didn't make his actions okay. He was still a bad guy. But suddenly they made sense. And if it makes sense, that is the way that you can come to acceptance of why the way the world is the way it is. Your boss is not a villain in your story. They are the hero in their own story. And that story, unfortunately, has nothing to do with you. They're fighting battles that you cannot see. Here's what's really happening. Your boss is projecting their fears onto you. When they micromanage, they're afraid of losing control. When they yell, they are afraid of looking incompetent. When they steal the credit away from you, they're afraid they don't deserve their position. So that comes from a place of insecurity. Do you guys remember the Wizard of Oz? The great and powerful Oz is just a scared little man behind the curtain, pulling levers, terrified that someone will discover that he's a fraud. The realization here is that that is your boss. The anger, the criticism, and the chaos, it is all coming from their insecurity, not your performance, in all likelihood. This does not excuse their poor behavior, but it does explain it. And that explanation is going to be your superpower. Imagine your boss is a broken mirror. When they look at you, they don't see you as a person. They see their own reflection cracked and distorted. An example here is, let's say your boss had a terrible boss once. Maybe they learned that leadership means intimidation, or maybe they were passed over for promotions. So now they hoard the credit. If they snap at you for a small mistake, maybe they're remembering the time someone humiliated them for a mistake. If you guys have seen, there's a movie called Good Will Hunting. It's not your fault. In that movie, the character Will, his whole life, he thought everything was his fault. But Robin Williams, in a mentor capacity, like a good guy, makes him understand other people's trauma isn't yours to carry. That's wise advice, guys. Your boss's trauma, not yours to carry either. They are reacting to ghosts you can't see, to pressures from above you that you don't know about. They're reacting to fears that existed long before you showed up. So here's where the Stoics get a little radical, and this is about the freedom of detachment. Once you realize it's not about you, you become unhittable. This guy called Epictetus, he was born a slave and he became a philosopher. He said, if someone speaks badly of you, remember they're responding to how you appear to them, not who you actually are. Listen to that again. How you appear to them, not who you actually are. We'll put in a Matrix example. So remember when Neo finally sees the Matrix code? The bullets slow down. He can dodge them because he understands they're not real. So that can be you now. Your boss's criticism is coming at you, but you can see it for what it is. It's their fear, or their pressure, and their broken mirror. It still might hurt you. You have to deal with it professionally, but it can't destroy you anymore because you now know the truth. Practical application of this. Okay, philosophy is great. I personally love philosophy. I read philosophy. I use it, but let's apply it in a practical way. How do you use this on like a Monday morning? A couple scenarios, okay? I'll give you 3. The first one, your boss tears apart your presentation in front of the team. The old you would say, I'm terrible at this. But the new you will say, they're under pressure from their boss. This isn't about the quality of my work. The second scenario, they ignore your email but respond instantly to your coworker. The old version of you would say, they hate me. The new you says they're playing politics. Their priorities are about their career, not my value. The third scenario, your bad boss changes direction for the 3rd time this week. The old you would say, I can't do anything right. The new you with this information is going to say, they don't know what they want because they're getting mixed messages from above. Do you notice the shift here? You go from victim to observer. This is really powerful, guys. You're still doing your job, but you're not absorbing your bad boss's chaos as your personal failure. Boundaries. This is the boundary. This is really important. Now, there's a critical distinction. Understanding why they act this way does not mean accepting abuse. Marcus Aurelius, that guy from earlier, said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. That is so wise, guys. That means that you are learning, observing, you're not letting it get to you, and you're breaking the cycle. You're not going to abuse other people in the future because you're a good person. You're not a bad boss. You can understand their behavior without tolerating it. You can see their fears without making yourself small. This isn't about becoming a punching bag with philosophical justification. No, this is about protecting your mind while you figure out your next move. In closing for this video, so here's your homework. Next time your boss acts out, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what are they afraid of? Not what did I do wrong, but what are they protecting?